Today we are going to be making some clay apples. So what you are going to need is you are going to need your Model Magic just for art class and some markers. We're going to start by taking our Model Magic and our markers and having them in front of us. You may also want a messy mat or a scrap piece of paper. Open up your Model Magic. It will be a little moist, a little sticky for you. I'm just going to fold up my wrapper and put it to the side. My Model Magic, I'm going to take a big pinch. Now, not in half. One side needs to be much bigger than the other. I'm going to roll my Model Magic into a ball. And I first just start by squishing it with my hands, removing my hair tie that's getting in my way, and rolling it in my hands after I've smushed it. Now, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but as close as you can get. Then take your thumb and push it right into the middle. Now, don't push all the way through because you don't want a donut. What we're going to do is we're going to make a pinch pot. We're going to make it like a little bowl. I'm doing something called alligator pinches. I make sure my other fingers stay flat as I pinch around. Once it's big enough for my second thumb to go in, I'll place it inside to make the opening larger. If you have any creases, just rub it out with your finger. Once you have your pinch pot done, you can place it off to the side. I'm going to actually flip it upside down. And we are going to start by coloring that outside of our apple. So since an apple, you can use numerous colors, reds, greens, oranges, yellows. I'm using red for mine. I'm just doing the outside of that bowl shape. The inside will be for the inside of my apple, which is kind of already that white. I colored the whole thing. Now you'll notice I put down a messy mat so that I don't get it on my table. Your fingers will get a little dirty, and that's okay. As you finish, put it off to the side. Now, if I'm going too fast, pause the video. I'm going to take my extra Model Magic and break it into 2 pieces. Then one of those 2 pieces, I break into 2 more pieces. I'm going to use the bigger one to make the leaf for my apple. I first start by smashing it down, and then I'm going to color it all the way green. This time, watch how I mix my colors. I'm going to do it with 2 greens. Once I kind of cover it, I'm going to smush this with my fingers, and it's going to blend the whole clay piece to turn green. You might have to do it more than once and really smush and smash it in there. Now, it's still a little too white for me, a little too light, so I'm going to add more green. And then I'm going to smush and smash it again. Let it mix all the way up. Continue doing this until you like the color. Next up, we're going to do brown. This will be for our stem. This skinny marker is taking me way too long, so I'm going to try smushing and smashing and finding a bigger one. There we go. Keep smushing and smashing until it's the color you like. Then get your last piece, flatten it out, and we're going to do this black for the seeds inside of our apple. Now, I fold it in so I don't get that darkness on my fingers quite as much. Smush and smash just like the rest until it's the color you want. Now, I'm going to take my apple, careful with my dirty fingers, and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. You might want to bring the red of the skin out just a little bit, but that's up to you. I'm taking the black and I'm doing a little pinch. I'm going to turn this into a seed. So I roll it in between my fingers and I make it into an oval shape, and I pinch one end to get a point. Let me show you that again. So roll, flatten, point. Roll, flatten, point. I'm doing about 3, but you can do as many as you can fit. Now I take my brown and I'm going to make my stem. I roll it into a coil by pushing it on my paper and rolling it up and down. Now I find a place and I kind of smoosh it and smash it, and I smear it just a little bit with my fingers. See, just a tiny bit so it will stay. Now I can bend my stem. Oop, and I'm actually going to pinch a little off because it was too big for me. I'm going to kind of curl mine. And now it's time for my leaf. That's a little big, so I'm going to do it in half, roll it into a ball. I'm going to flatten it out with my fingers and bring it to a point very similar to as I did my seeds. I'm going to place it on whichever side I would like. And I give it that little smear as well so it holds into place. Now I'm going to add details with a green marker for the stems or the veins of my leaf. Now you can decide if you want your apple to sit up. I kind of tap it down on the table and then it needs to lean against something as it dries. You need to let it dry overnight.